Your driveway might be hiding a financial time bomb. While automakers stay quiet about their struggles, some car brands are circling the drain, leaving owners with vehicles that plummet in value and become service nightmares. This breakdown exposes the warning signs, the financial disasters brewing behind closed doors, and why these purchases could turn into expensive mistakes. Genesis, the luxury brand nobody recognizes. Genesis entered the American market swinging hard with aggressive pricing, sharp designs, and technology that rivaled the Germans. The strategy looked solid on spreadsheets, but luxury car buyers operate on different psychology. They want heritage and prestige, not discounts. For most shoppers, Genesis still reads as Hyundai wearing a tuxedo. The sales figures paint a harsh reality. Genesis moved 75,030 units in 2024, a modest climb from 68,798 the previous year. BMW sold 362,000 vehicles. Mercedes pushed 282,000. Lexus dominated with 319,000. Genesis barely makes a dent in the market share conversation. The real trouble shows up in ownership costs. A massive 2022 recall hit nearly 95,000 vehicles across the G80, GV60, and GV70 models. The culprit was fuel pump failures causing unexpected stalling. One major recall in the luxury segment destroys consumer confidence for years. That translates directly into faster depreciation, expensive repairs, and a shallow pool of interested buyers when it's time to sell. The dealership experience creates another layer of frustration. Genesis promised standalone luxury showrooms with concierge service. Instead, most buyers get directed to Hyundai dealerships where their premium purchase sits next to economy cars. Luxury customers expect treatment that matches the price tag, not generic service alongside budget models. Trade tensions add financial pressure. A 25% tariff on Korean imports drives up costs, and even American-assembled models depend heavily on Korean-made components. The GV60 electric vehicle was supposed to be the brand's breakthrough, but it arrived overpriced and underwhelming in a rapidly evolving EV market. Without dramatic changes, Genesis faces a future where owners struggle to find buyers for their depreciating assets. Buick, surviving without thriving. Buick keeps breathing, but just barely. The brand carries decades of baggage as the choice for retirees, and that reputation continues to haunt it. Younger buyers scroll past Buick listings without a second thought, viewing it as transportation for their grandparents, rather than a viable option for themselves. Sales showed some life in 2024, with 183,421 vehicles sold, marking a 16% increase from the previous year. Those numbers look microscopic compared to Toyota's 2.3 million or Honda's 1.3 million. Buick exists in the market but doesn't compete in any meaningful way. The current lineup consists of 3 SUVs, the Encore GX, Envision, and Envista. Critics and consumers alike see them as rebadged Chevrolets with slightly nicer trim. When your vehicles look like platform-sharing exercises rather than distinct products, building brand loyalty becomes impossible. Marketing missteps added to the damage. The Tiger Woods partnership was supposed to inject youth appeal and relevance. Instead, it drained millions while generating minimal return before ending in quiet embarrassment. Mechanical problems with the Encore and Encore GX models, including engine performance issues, oil leaks, and turbocharger failures, gave existing owners reasons to complain, and potential buyers reasons to look elsewhere. Buick occupies an impossible middle ground. It lacks the prestige to command luxury prices and costs too much to attract budget-conscious shoppers. For current owners, that means watching resale values sink, dealing with a shrinking dealer network, and wondering if General Motors will eventually pull the plug on American operations entirely. Mitsubishi, running on fumes. Mitsubishi once built rally legends and street favorites. Now it's scrambling to avoid complete irrelevance. The brand sold just 19,843 vehicles in the U.S. during 2024, a steep decline from previous years. Early 2025 brought a new crisis when tariffs froze deliveries, leaving Mitsubishi vehicles trapped at ports with no clear resolution. Dealers had empty lots, and customers had no new inventory to consider. The model lineup shrunk to almost nothing. The budget-friendly Mirage disappeared. What remains is the Outlander, Outlander Sport, and Eclipse Cross, none of which generate excitement or strong sales. Even the redesigned Outlander failed to meet internal expectations or capture meaningful market share. Trust issues run deep with this brand. In 2016, Mitsubishi admitted to falsifying fuel economy data on more than 600,000 vehicles. The scandal triggered regulatory raids, executive resignations, and billions in lost company value. Before that, a recall cover-up scandal had already damaged credibility. These disasters forced Nissan to purchase a controlling stake just to keep Mitsubishi operational. Quality problems persist on current models. Owners report transmission failures, weak air conditioning systems, suspension component failures, electrical faults, and engines that refuse to start. Build quality varies wildly between vehicles. Technology feels outdated compared to competitors, and resale values drop fast. Buying Mitsubishi for affordable reliability often backfires, leaving owners with unexpected repair bills and few buyers interested in taking the vehicle off their hands. Nissan, a giant stumbling. Nissan built its reputation on iconic vehicles like the GT-R, 240Z, and Maxima. Today, the company faces an existential crisis. U.S. sales reached 865,938 in 2024, which sounds respectable until you examine the details. Maxima sales collapsed by more than 90%. The Altima continues sliding. Globally, Nissan expects to lose $5.3 billion, with $3.5 billion of that coming from American operations alone. The failed Honda merger in 2024 could have created the world's third-largest automaker. Negotiations collapsed when Honda insisted on control, leaving Nissan searching for alternatives. Discussions with Stellantis and Foxconn went nowhere. Meanwhile, 9,000 jobs vanished, plants closed, and 2 planned U.S. electric vehicles got canceled. The product pipeline looks empty with no hybrids, no plug-ins, and no competitive EV strategy. The company's problems started years ago. In 2018, CEO Carlos Ghosn was arrested for hiding millions in compensation and using company funds for personal expenses. His bizarre escape to Lebanon in a shipping crate exposed deep corporate dysfunction that never got properly addressed. An emissions scandal where Nissan admitted cheating on fuel economy tests further eroded consumer trust. Industry insiders now suggest the company might have only 12 to 14 months of runway left without a major intervention or partnership. For owners, this means rapidly declining resale values, uncertain service support, and the real possibility of driving a vehicle from a brand that might not exist in a few years. Canoo, the dream that vanished. Canoo looked like a winner. NASA became a customer. Walmart ordered 4,500 delivery vans. A new Oklahoma factory was supposed to employ 1,400 workers. Investors flooded in, and media coverage positioned it as a serious Tesla challenger. The optimism evaporated quickly. By January 20, 25, Canoo filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Operations stopped immediately. The financial picture was catastrophic. $50,000 in assets against more than $160 million in debt. The Oklahoma factory never produced vehicles at scale. Workers got sent home without warning. A crucial Department of Energy loan never materialized. International funding agreements fell through. The cash disappeared, and so did the company. The aftermath turned messy. Former employees filed lawsuits under the WARN Act, claiming illegal layoffs without proper notice. Rival EV startup Harbinger accused Canoo of suspicious asset transfers, alleging CEO Tony Aquila acquired assets from another failed automaker through questionable methods. Critics described it as a shadowy fire sale conducted outside normal business procedures. Buyers got left with nothing: no warranty support, no service network, no resale value. The futuristic-looking vans are now stranded assets, impossible to maintain, and worthless in the secondary market. Canoo didn't gradually decline. It simply disappeared. When a company backed by NASA and Walmart can evaporate overnight, it raises serious concerns about the stability of smaller EV startups fighting for survival in an increasingly competitive market. The automotive landscape continues shifting, and not every brand will survive the transition. Understanding these warning signs helps protect your investment and avoid becoming another cautious tale of depreciation and abandonment.